Today, we have the ugly and sad reality of dealing with the tragic flight of our people to call what is repugnant and shocking a fundamental right. Advocates contend that those opposing abortion cannot speak to it because they're not women. This is nonsense, because what's wrong and what is right is never contingent on who is speaking. It wasn't that way for slavery. Slavery was repugnant, whether the master was kind or not, whether the options outside of slavery were good or not. Some claimed, but it's obviously untrue and offensive to suggest it. Likewise, while the circumstances around conception or in a home after birth may be tragic or appalling, it doesn't alter the value of the life.
As the descendant of those enslaved Africans, I find it remarkable, these types of comparisons. As a woman and as a Black woman, there's been this tension in this country about the control of our body. We will denounce these comparisons to the American slave trade and do what women all over this state and country want us to do, which to declare the control of our own bodies. So I'll be enthusiastically voting yes. Thank you. You know, we stand here on International Women's Day, and I wasn't going to speak, but while hearing my colleagues talking about the comparisons of the American slave trade to today's vote. As a woman and as a Black woman, there's been this tension in this country about the control of our body, the control of Black bodies that have been enslaved, that have been utilized for economic gain. And yet we stand here today, again on International Women's Day, making common sense reforms to ensure that women of all races, all ages, in every corner of the state have the basic right to health care in order to just live out the fundamental values of this country, like freedom. And so again, while I listen and take notes of these comparisons to our darkest chapters of our country, I'm reminded of this beautiful day in history, that the voters made their intentions clear, that this record number of women in this chamber will probably make their intentions quite clear, that we stand behind the principles of freedom.
We had to listen to the forced birth crew's greatest hits, When Life Begins, and other existential questions, misplaced and inappropriate comparisons to slavery, inserting one's religion, non-medical and inaccurate information, and other red herrings and nonsense. Let me remind you, a person's reproductive health care decisions, including abortion, is none of your business. Michiganders have spoken, and the most urgent and pertinent part of doing the people's work to fulfill Prop 3 is repealing the 1931 bans. The people demand it. It is the floor of what we must do, but do it we must. There's no reason to transport women's rights and the reproductive health of all Michiganders backwards. Let us now do the will of the people and vote yes on these bills. Thank you.